Have you ever wondered where that voice came from? The one that whispers, "You're not enough," before you've even done anything wrong. It doesn't show up out of nowhere. Somewhere, sometime, you learned it. And today, I want to gently go back there with you. Not to relive the pain, but to finally see the lie for what it is. Welcome back to Christ in Her. We've talked about the performance trap, and we've talked about approval seeking. Today, we go one layer deeper and ask, where did not enough actually start? Because you can't fully heal from a wound you've never named. For me, I can trace it back to a specific season, a comment, a comparison, a moment I decided I had to be a certain way to be loved. I won't pretend every woman's story looks like mine. Maybe yours started with a parent's words. Maybe it was a friendship that ended. Maybe it was a church environment that confused performance with holiness. Maybe you don't even remember the moment. You just remember always feeling like you had to prove something. Wherever it started, here's what's true. That belief got planted in you. It wasn't there when you were born. And anything that was planted can be uprooted. Let's bring this to Scripture. Isaiah 43, verse 4. You are precious in my eyes, and honored, and I love you. Read that again slowly. Precious, honored, loved. Not, you'll become precious once you heal. Not, you're honored once you stop struggling. Present tense, already true. And Psalm 139, verse 14. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. This isn't about your achievements, it's about your design. Before you ever performed, before you ever pleased anyone, before the wound was even formed, you were already wonderfully made. Here's the deeper truth. The not enough lie always tries to attach your worth to something that happened. But God's declaration of your worth happened before any of that. It's not contingent on your story. It's settled before your story even began. That doesn't mean the wound doesn't matter. It does. And healing takes real time, and sometimes real support. But the lie that grew out of the wound, that we can begin dismantling today. First, name the moment. Even if it's only between you and God. You don't have to tell the whole world. Just quietly acknowledge, this is where I started believing the lie. Naming it begins to loosen its grip. Second, read Isaiah 43:4 and Psalm 139:14 with your own name. Sarah, you are precious in my eyes. Hearing your own name inside God's promises can make His truth feel deeply personal. And third, consider who else should walk this journey with you. A trusted friend, a counselor, a pastor. There's no shame in needing more support than one video can offer. God often brings healing through people, not only through truth. The lie may have been planted, but it doesn't have to stay rooted. God has always called you precious, honored, loved, and that has been true from the very beginning. If you feel comfortable, I'd love for you to share something in the comments. Not necessarily your whole story, but simply this. About how old were you when you first remember feeling not enough? Sometimes realizing how early this started for other women reminds us that we were never alone. And sometimes, that's the beginning of healing. If this series has been meeting you where you are, I'd love for you to subscribe. Next week, we're shifting from understanding the wound to learning how to actually walk in your healed identity every single day. You are precious. You are wonderfully made. That was true before the wound, and it's still true today. I'll see you next week.